his son were the only members of a family of 8 to survive a mudslide in Mexico. And this is all going on. Did we cause them? Well, some people being used or what? Now, Irish Army Rangers go to Kabul to have evacuation. There are some of the stories making the rounds there. Everyone is doing their best. Cricket legend Botham made trade envoy to Australia. The former England cricket captain is one of the 10 new trade envoys appointed by the Prime Minister. Do you think that is going to rake in some more businesses or trade? That is another question to be answered for another day. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, finally, let's go to the African continent, and then we'll bring the global trotting to a close there. Huge crowds as Zambia inauguration gets underway. We'll try to see whether we can bring the excerpts from there as well. Zambia's new president inspires African opposition leaders. Long-suffering politicians hope to copy Hakainde Hichilema, who was elected as his 6th time attempt. So don't give up, don't give in, continue to pursue your cause. If you believe in it, you will get it. Some way, somehow. It doesn't matter how long it takes, it will come to pass. Okay. And Jacob Zuma seeks public donation for his legal fight. What the heck is that? Now, upon all that money that he's got, seeking legal, public donation, and South Africa's ex-president wants a helping hand to fund his defense at his corruption trial. Now, who is going to donate to him? Well, those who benefited from his regime will definitely do that. But what do you think? What do you think? Angolan soldier who became a London pub legend, Cesar Kimbirema, fled Angola after 5 shots 4 times and spending 5 months in a coma. Now, see, life is there to live, and he's living it. Okay. Moving on to some other stories that is making the rounds on the African continent. As I've said, Zimbabwe to compensate victims of Mugabe era massacre. Zimbabwe to compensate victims of Mugabe era massacre. Okay, there are some stories making the rounds there as well. Tanzania president criticized for calling soccer women flat chest. You know, at times people will think that are obvious. People don't want people to talk about it. Now, you can't have big boobs and say you're going to be chesting a ball. It will hurt you. So he says flat chest. What has he said that is wrong? It is good. Well, all right then. Maybe there's something in there that is said that make people feel very uncomfortable. But it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, moving on straight to some of the stories making the rounds. Mr. Olayomi Koiki will be bringing us more from there. The Inspector General, please. Alkali Baba Usman. Wow, this is a proper. Yeah, I like that name, Alkali. Ooh, okay. Has charged the Delta of State Police Command to brace up for the challenges posed by the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, that's the IPOP state, in the state. Speaking to officers of the State Police Command in Asaba as part of his visit to the state on Monday, Osman said there was the need to get prepared and deal with any crime or criminality, as well as ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book. Now, while reacting to some of the challenges facing the command, ranging from IPOP activities and herdsmen attacks, as raised earlier by the State Commissioner of Police, Ali Ari Osman noted that the proximity of the Anambra to Asaba makes it susceptible to aggression from the eastern part of the country. This and a lot more we're going to be looking at. It is Starr Radio UK. Alleged $5 million bribe position taken by Shraj on petition against Chief Justice is correct. And who is speaking? Emil Short. Okay, that is Emil Short speaking. We're bringing you more on that. Well, the president saying petition seeking removal of Chief Justice unwarranted and unmeritorious. So, Akufo-Addo has chugged it out. Somebody said, wow, we knew that this was something that was obvious. Just going to be a whitewash and whatever, and it's going to be retained. So, we've not seen anything different, have we? The final one from Ghana as well. Your cousin's government is the most corrupt under the Fourth Republic. Who is saying that? Kwachi Fosu. He's having a banter with the we shall call him what? He's the Prime Minister of Ghana. Gabi Ochire Dakon. So we're going to be saying more about that. Do you agree with that statement that has been made? Or is he hitting below the belt? Who is more corrupt? The government has been so corrupt that you cannot see their nose from their face. Okay, we're going to be looking more into that. It is Starr Radio UK. Whilst we get ourselves ready for Mr. Olayomi Koiki to join in, let me bring you this song in full, and then we'll go on from there. We'll be having Mr. Frank Davis also joining in, and we'll be looking at some of the stories making the rounds. Good morning, and once again, welcome to the show. I am Archie.
Are you ready? I love that. It's beautiful.
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. smartphone. work,
At home.
on your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Zodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness of darkness. So
Well, that is destination Inter. When it comes to door-to-door shipping, look no further. Well, land shippers, contact us on 0939 009 or 074 or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail info at welllamp@gmail.com. Welllamp shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Okay, welcome back to the program. Start Ready UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 13 minutes past the top of the hour. And now this juncture will be having the one and only, Mr. Olayomi Koiki in the North London studios here in the UK, bringing you updates from Nigeria. So let me cross over to North London where Mr. Olayomi Koiki is. Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, it's a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning, Frank. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe. And welcome to the 24th of August 2021. It's exactly 30 minutes past, and we'll be giving you through some of the update and headline coming out of Nigeria at this early hours of the day.
Yes. How are you doing, sir?
Well, a bit tired. It's a very long day after the reporting from the Extinction Rebellion. I was there till almost 9 p.m. and I'll be giving a little bit of background to that as well. I was giving Frank the report from Trafalgar Square yesterday. About 50 people were arrested. About close to 6,000 people and it's going to be a 2 weeks long running from yesterday, where the Extinction Rebellion decided that fossil fuel must be taken out, greener must be looked into. Do you agree? For some, we say yes, but when you look at some of the flood taking place around the globe, like Germany, Haiti, incident in Turkey, climate change is something that we cannot hide away from. I'll be giving a little bit more background to what took place at the ground of that protest yesterday. But once again, it's good to be back after a very long day yesterday.
That was a good coverage there. But the participation and everything, and then the arrest of this, how many people? This 50. Oh, how many people?
50 people were arrested yesterday.
Yeah, that was 50 people who were arrested. Now, do you think that they are demonstrating at the right place? We have countries like China where people are saying that, look, the Chinese are doing so much when it comes to destroying our environment. Now, why can't people just go to China and go demonstrate there?
Well, again, people will say China probably doesn't respect human rights, just like other African countries that believe that. I did ask those questions to some of those activists on the ground that will these protests change anything? And what I was told is that is the only way they can get the message to the government and the international community, and that is why they decided. I did also put it out that does it not mean it will be an inconvenience to so many people that will be, walking around that area. And again, part of their response is that, at some point in our life, you might not have a road to drive on, especially those in Germany that will have said similar thing. I've now realized that they haven't got a road to drive on because of the flood that have taken over, most of their major roads as well. Again, it's about yes, you did talk as an example, and it's not just China. Let's give a closer look to Africa. Only July the 3rd, there was a mega peaceful rally that was, ongoing in Lagos until the Lagos State government and the police commissioner decided to unleash havoc. Where eventually a young girl, which could be somebody that could become something else in the future, was eventually killed by the straight bullet live ammunition used by the Lagos State, police during that peaceful mega rally in Lagos.
We've got Mr. Frank Davis in the house as well. Let me come to him and let me say good morning to you, Frank. Good morning,
Archie. Good morning, and Mr. Extinction Rebellion. Well, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Frank.
Listeners.
Yeah. How are you, Frank?
I'm doing very, very well.
Great. Now, a quick one on this Extinction Rebellion here. We are looking at the coverage that Olayomi did. Now, I'm looking at the issue where this issue, what is going on. The UK has promised a lot of things that they are doing, a lot of stuff that we all know. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is a country, China, where about 25% or more than 25% of the damage is coming from. People are not going there to go and demonstrate, and you are here making a lot of noise, distracting people who want to go about their normal duties after 18 months of lockdown, where they won't go around, go get some business done, and it's a disruption. What do you think?
Actually, yes, it might sound a disruption, but someone must protest and someone for government to take action. We know government responds to voices and protests. That's why in this country, when 100,000 people sign the petition, we call it protest. And the government or parliament is compelled by that action to put into their case. It is like having siblings and say that, okay, because one sibling is not contributing to looking after our parents, and therefore all of us, or I'm also not going to do my part. But for those of us who have that faith responsibility, they say, honor your father and mother, and it shall be well with you. They didn't say, let your siblings are not doing it. So China might not be doing it. Yes, China has promised to step up and so far they are reaching a lot of the others. It's not really going to take time. But we cannot say because China is not doing enough, and therefore the little that we can do in our corner, we are not doing it. Yes, we might not be contributing much, but the little that we can do can also, if you talk of plastic, if for instance, all of us decide that we're going to go away with plastics, it's going to be very difficult. I say, we will be contributing towards saving more of marine fishes and all.
Yeah.
So I think the protest must continue. However, I think they need to minimize the distraction to innocent people. Someone tell recruited that distraction. How would you convey your message? That is the balance, that is the balance that I think we need to look at.
Some people were saying that, look, you can go to Trafalgar Square and then make lots of noise as much as you let people who are interested to come and see what they're doing. Come in there, and like that, come and see and
I tell them to go to Arsenal Stadium and gather there, sing and shout and do this. That one is to be a jamboree, to be a party, it's not demonstration. Demonstrations are supposed to have impact and to send a message. If someone is in the party and not going, why is the party not going? There's a demonstration. Why is the demonstration extinction rebellion? What are they talking about? And that is how the message gets through. So I think we have no option.
I think I'm also going to organize anti-extinction rebellion. Those who are businesses. Okay, let me say good morning to Daniel Ogo to show. Say good morning, sir. Nissan.co.com. I'm greeting you. Well done. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, you are doing a good job. Yes. Olayomi Joe Taiwo say good morning to you, Mr. Koiki there as well. All right, let's go to Yomi before you go to the update. Now, interestingly, the participation and the disruption that was caused. Now, what caused these 50 people to be arrested? What were they doing? Were they destroying property or something, or were they adhering to the rules of the game?
Well, you've got to remember, like I said, we were there till very, very late, just about 7 p.m. One of the police vehicle kept on saying that now that it's 7 p.m., according to Section 14 of the Public Order, everyone should move away from that particular area, apart from the press that were still doing their job as well. Eventually, some of them refused to, and it got to a stage where painstakingly, the police officer have to start moving them out, and some of those that were moved out were handcuffed away from from that vicinity as well. We've got to also remember that the Extinction Rebellion are used to locking themselves under the vehicles and all kind of different material that came with. I mean, about 4 people were locked under a vehicle, and painstakingly, it took a lot of hours before they were able to be removed. And the same goes with a big table that was put on on the main center of the road, just around Convent Garden as well. So I guess those were part of those 50 individuals that were arrested.
Okay. Well, the protest goes on, demonstration is still going on today. I think it's going to go on till the end of the month. 2 weeks or 2 weeks or thereabout. 2 weeks. Well, is that right?
Yeah, 2 weeks, yes.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That's going to be a lot of protests.
But you see, Archie, I admire their determination and their courage. Some people have set themselves aside to basically bring attention to the world. Yeah. Some of us, how do these people feed themselves? They provide food. And there are people who finance some of this. And some of them to our business, they run their business.
Yeah.
Like some who have their business running, workers over there, and they are there. I don't know that. I like the fact that they're trying to draw attention to something that is happening. Because someone must do it. Yes, we might not agree with them totally what they are doing, but we cannot rule out that they have no point and they shouldn't have the voice. And the beauty of it is that for me, and for those of us who hail from countries that see the democracies, countries that are peers of going to be practicing democracy, but they are practicing electoral dictatorship, like Ghana, Nigeria, and other where Kenya and other things where we might talk of democracy, but when protest starts, you see them coming with iron fist and iron hands, deploying the military and the police. We saw what happened in Ghana when people were shot dead at the demonstration just because people were protesting about the killing of one of their own. That will not take place over here. The police are still operating within. No one was held accountable. They set up what they call it, a shoddy or what they call it, a fanciful committee, up to date. There's not heading it.
Whitewash and then
whitewash. Yes, we've done it. I mean, it's like you shake and you paint it white and say, "Good, there's nothing." We do not see that over here. Because yesterday, when we look at the demonstration, you see, yesterday, Olayomi said people were led away. Yeah. No bullet was deployed. No. Are you getting it? Yeah. No bullet was deployed. But yes, you compare that to the scene that we saw at the Lekki toll gate, and we saw what we saw at what they call it, the Ghana issue. Yeah. People were firing at these people in Afghanistan. Yeah. How you get it? You don't get that. And for me, yes, democracy we're learning, and some of it we see by saying, how can we copy this? Because it's something that is guaranteed within within the democracy, and it's their right to voice out what they think is wrong.
Yeah, and just as Frank was saying there, I mean, not just the Extinction Rebellion, I mean, they had different countries that spoke as well. I saw somebody that was representing people from Niger Delta area, and I'm sure you all remember Ken Saro-Wiwa that was hanged to death by the former dictator Sani Abacha. I had people speaking for representing Indian as well. So it's not just about the climate change. They were also talking about other issues relating to the effect of what climate change have done and the damage within their community.
Yeah. And Olayomi on that he was also protesting about.
Yeah, he was an environmental activist. Yes.
So I mean, they just trying to draw attention, and for me, that's a very, very perfect attention because years ago, about 20 years ago, if they had listened to the problem, different actions were taken to protect the Niger Delta, but instead, the dictators that we have them and still have them today went hard on an innocent boy that saw what was happening to the environment, wanted to voice about it, and he was taken down.
Well, listen, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, 11:26 the time. Those of you who have joined us on the Facebook broadcast, I salute you all and say welcome to the show once again. But at this juncture, we're going to Mr. Olayomi to have a look at some of the updates. But before we go to the details, am I accurate in saying that Nigeria now breeding ground for terrorism, breaking bandits attack Nigerian Defense Academy Kaduna, they killed military officer, abduct 2 personnel.
Yeah, and that is a breaking news. Yes, that news is quite right. It's a breaking news. 2 military officers have been killed. I mean, I don't know why they keep using the word bandit. These are terrorists. But because the Minister of Information, Alhaji Mohammed, tend to threaten the Nigerian media, in terms of using the word bandit as against terrorists. I mean, Nigeria is the 3rd when it comes to the global terrorist index in this country. I mean, around the world. I mean, let me just give quickly as well. Last week Thursday, a young mother that lives in the UK with her children have traveled down back home to bury her mother. I can confirm she was killed in Ibadan on Thursday by terrorists, right in front of the 2 kids as well. And now, this breaking news coming out, 2 military officers killed by terrorist attack at the NDA Kaduna. This is quite worrisome. Nigerian Defense Academy, at the early hours of Tuesday, attacked the permanent site of the Nigerian Defense Academy Kaduna. 2 officers were killed during the attack, while another was said to have been abducted. There was no official reaction to the development for now, but according to the source that told the journalists that the terrorists, who were disguised in a military uniform, came to the Nigerian Defense Academy in a vehicle and headed to the officers' quarters. The terrorists were said to have shot periodically, causing fear and confusion in the academy. Could this now be that now that they've been able to bring down the Nigerian aircraft, now they are moving into some of the Nigerian military installation, like the barracks?
I don't think Liar Mohammed, I call it Liar Mohammed, because that is what I think he is. I hope he's seeing what, or he's hearing what is happening. Because if he can go and pay money to CNN and other things, to tell the world, thinking that, we see the thieves, and therefore, unless he comes from the thieves, we are we don't know, we can't see, we can't hear that every information that we hear must pass through him, because or must pass through him and what they call it, his boss. Yeah. If he doesn't do it, then it's fake news. I hope he's hearing this.
Yeah, I really hope so. I really hope so. Now, interestingly, the Christian Association of Nigeria, I think, have called on the government to say that, look, guys, declare that we are a failure.
Well, you're quite right. It's. I mean, yesterday, as much as I wanted to discuss that as well, when we look at the cover up by the Nigerian government with these latest repentant Boko Haram, there was this article that came out which indicate, and it says UN report expose secret program for repentant terrorists. Could this now be that a situation where some of them have been brought back, but they become what we call sleeper cell across the length and breadth of the country? Yes, the Christian Association of Nigeria, just like so many other groups and NGOs, have continued to ask this challenging question. I mean, remember last week Thursday, the president had a meeting with the security operatives in Nigeria. But again, as you can hear from this latest headline coming out, two people, and when they say two in Nigeria, you got to multiply that by four. So I'll probably be saying about 8 people have been killed. A couple of them have been taken away, but because the Nigerian government hasn't responded to this yet, but we'll have to wait and see what they, I'll keep checking on that before we leave the broadcast this morning. If the Nigerian military spokesman have released anything on that, but like I said, it does take them some time, to do so. But again, if these individuals now have that, capability or the boldness to walk into, we're not talking about a bank anymore. Remember, they've gone into the bank and they've gone into homes. I've just told you a young mother with 2 children was killed in Ibadan, on our way to, the burial have been done, but, between Oyo State, in Ibadan, where this is the southwest. So these are the questions on a lot of Nigerians that get worried and panic, especially looking at the current situation. But like I said, we hope, the Nigerian government will do more to secure lives and property.
Well, listeners, it is Starr in the UK. Bringing the time now to 11:32. We're going to Mr. Koiki for more of the other stories there. But continue to post your comments on our Facebook page. And if you want to check your WhatsApp, as the text or WhatsApp number is 0753966144. 0753966144. We'll be opening the lines after the updates with Mr. Koiki. But let me say good morning to McCarthy World Best. Good. Thank you very much for sharing and giving a thumbs up there as well. Yeah.
Yes, for now, there is nothing coming out from the Nigerian army, but let's hope that will be updated and then we'll be able to bring that statement, should we have it, before we finish this update. Let's go straight to some of the other headline as well. Land grabbers, 5 killed, severe injured in Lagos and Ogun attack. We're expecting the oil price jump to $86 after days of loss. Also, Petroleum Industry Act, PIB loopholes. 36 states have now set up a 6-member panel and plan amendment. Remember, the PIB has been, a painstaking one. The government has officially signed it off, even though a lot of the states are not pleased with it. I mean, during the last couple of meetings of the southern governors, they requested 5%, but the PIB remained 3%. So that is also coming out as well. Plateau killings, army reject call for GOC removal. That is coming from the headline as well. And just as we are saying, Nigerian food system is weak, vulnerable to shock, according to the federal government. On Friday midnight, I decided to take a journey to see what Spitalfield Market looks like. And while there for about almost an hour, I was able to tell most of the Nigerians at home the reason why Spitalfield Market is one of the biggest, not just probably in UK, but where majority of food stuff do come in, and I'm sure one of us must have been there for one reason or the other. What I was able to capture is, as much as Nigeria, as Benue State is meant to be the food basket of the country, but because of the insurgency, people are scared to go to the farm, and that means if we can't get the farm right, we can't get the agricultural produce to even get out of the country, not to talk of feeding those at home. I mean, most important thing I picked up from there, which I was told by some of the traders as the Spitalfield Market, is the Uganda pepper is very, very important to them, and it gets to UK on a daily basis, and likewise, is a very moving market. I'm sure a lot of Africans lost their pepper to the Uganda market as well. It's one big economy that will continue to strive very well, especially in the agricultural industry as well. Also, as we were discussing as well earlier before I came in, I heard you saying that Max Air leaves passengers stranded in Lagos. I mean, let's give a background to that. I mean, a couple of times I've been to Nigeria. I've managed to travel out of the country to, I mean, interstate using the aircraft. When you book an airline to travel from Lagos to Abuja, as an example, for 9 a.m., it does not guarantee that you will be leaving at 9 a.m. You need to prepare for another couple of hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and for no reason more than you are not getting any update from the airline. But this one that has just been coming out says, according to this, one of the Nigerian airline, Max Air Nigeria, on Saturday left hundreds of passengers stranded at the Lagos Muritala Mohammed II airport for over 5 hours without any explanations or apologies. Many of the passengers slept on chairs and on the floor of the airport as the ground staff and officials of the regulatory body, FAN and NICA, abandoned the passenger. Like I said, if you're traveling interstate, you got to prepare for a few hours because booking an aircraft, I mean, if you have booked the airline, you can't get a refund, and that means you're stranded with there, and you just have to wait until sometimes maybe the plane that is meant to take you from Lagos hasn't left Port Harcourt. So that means you have to wait for the one coming from Port Harcourt that has not even left Port Harcourt. And it shows, the kind of industry that has not been well taken care of for a very, very long time. And this is still part of, again, the corruption system that continue to strive in the country as well. I'm going to take one more, then come back again to you. We'll go straight to the business. I was reading this, help preserve industry funding. Tells Osibajo, the vice president, tells indigenous operator. Let's look into that. The vice president, Yemi Osibajo, has called on indigenous energy companies to lend their weight in preventing multilateral financial institutions from defunding oil and gas projects and to prevent the impending disaster that may arise from that. Osibajo yesterday made this remark delivery at a virtual event to commemorate the 25th anniversary of Sahara Energy Group. Electricity, 61 years after independence, so many Nigerians are still going home on a daily basis with darkness. And as I was watching a blog of a young girl that lives in UK, and I probably should return back home, she said, I have to keep warming my soup every 4 days, every day for 4 days. And that means the taste that I prepared it in the beginning must have lost by the time I'm finishing the soup in my little pot. Starr Radio UK, I'll come back now to you in the studio.
When you are there, you don't want your food. You sure will touch it. But interesting, listen to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African Caribbean radio station in London, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Amaya Agrigan says Nigerian politicians have finally finished the country customized iPhone 12 Pro Max and tablets iPhone 10 at Buhari's son's wedding. Well, they have it, they are planting it. What will we do? But we'll come to that in a moment. But let's come to one important thing pertaining to this airline thing. Because most of us travel back home, and then you want to leave maybe Accra to Kumasi, and you think you want to use an interstate or international airline as happened in Nigeria. But when it comes to customer service in Africa, a little full short service.
Actually, it is not. The beginning of this for me is not about customer. It's not even about customer. We know customer service is nothing to right now. But see, we as Africans, majority of us do not see the value of one of the most important but limited commodity and asset that we have. That is time. Time lost can never be again. Yeah. Time lost is lost forever. When you are born, you can never be born again. No? You can never be born again. When your first birthday passes, you can never celebrate your birthday. You can celebrate your birthday, but it can never be the first birthday again. Actually, speaking now, the time we drove into this studio, we can never recover that. one will go to weddings late, that the MC that we hire to come and do officiate the program for us will be there and we are not ready. Are you getting it? And what am I talking about? Look, if you look at this country, if you take National Express, even if it is one person and it's time to take off, what do they do? There was a month ago, one of these airlines that fly from Italy to this country had to take one passenger. Look, one passenger from Spain, one of the Spain to Gatwick Airport. One passenger and it has to be on time. Chartered flights. Actually, it tells you the value of time. You have the citizens plan. Look, you go to Ghana, you go to African countries. Yes, we understand that they want to maximize profit. They put maximization of profit ahead of time. Without knowing that over a long period of time, they are shortchanging themselves. And therefore, in public of Ghana FTC, we stand over there for about 4 or 5 hours, not knowing the value of time. We do not quantify the value. Because if you look at it on a travel, if you constantly 5 hours productive time, and we have about 100 people that you are constantly that, what is it? We do not value that. All we are looking at that airline at that very point in time, that transport system at that point in time want to maximize their profit, and therefore do not drive with empty seats. We do not respect that. Actually, it demands a policy change. This cannot come from only the passengers or the driver. If we have a government saying, okay, look, passengers have the right to sleep and be compensated for loss of time. If airlines advertise a particular product, because it is fraud. If you can consider it fraud, you ask me to come to pay you ferry me at 11 o'clock from Lagos and our arrive at Abuja at 1 o'clock. I have booked my business appointment at 1:30. I have scheduled my girlfriend to meet me at 2 o'clock for lunch. I have agreed to meet my grandmother at 3 o'clock. And I have agreed that I will take another.
Frank is going too much, you know. You can't get all these in Nigeria. You know that. Yes. The effect.
One day will affect my business. If it's a contract, I can lose it. My girlfriend can be angry with me because you didn't get down at night. If it's a restaurant table that we have booked, I can lose my money. My grandmother, whom I have probably become a hand, is fed up with angry, and I might not be able to get a taxi to keep myself at home. Actually, the chain reaction of that. But because we do not punish some of these things and ourselves, it doesn't occur to us because we are ourselves the architects of the field system. Because most of us, when we agree to meet people, what we call African time, meanwhile we don't manufacture cloth. We do not manufacture cloth, we call it African time. So imagine, actually, we need to push governments to create an environment where passengers can see. We need to get the transport system working on time. Those who manage the transport, actually, transport is very important. It is like a heartbeat. If you look at New York, and you want to take the history of how New York came to be, actually, that city of New York became New York because of the subway system. It tells you how crucial it is. It is in this country one of the oldest underground systems. Actually, transport network close cities, right? So if we have a system where transport is not properly functioning, actually it affects a lot of things. And I do believe politicians might rise up to the occasion, not because they ride the motorcades and can move and arrive in the offices at the time they want. It means that all that is the impact of the time. We don't qualify time at all. If we can calculate, because if I did work, over here, consultant probably are paid £200 a day. All right, take you for 8 hours or 7 hours. It tells me that let's take a lawyer. Lawyers are very good. Lawyers 2 hours or even an hour is about 200. Where high is 250, right? So if it is supposed to be, in traffic or airline, you delay their time for 5 hours. What have you called them? You called them to 5.
Yes.
Right?
That's you. But
Alright, that is the body of man. And that is, for me, it's a disease that we need to address. And until we address it, we're not going anywhere in my view. And it hasn't got to be, it's not only about Nigeria, it is Africa.
yeah.
Our friends, Eastern Europeans are doing better than we are in West Africa. West Africa is becoming lazy, talk, plenty, having all half Africa.
Well, listeners, Mr. Frank Davis there for you. But you know what have been the reaction of the passengers? Though they were stuck there, somebody says it's a normal.
Well, that's it. For somebody like us, it might not be normal, but for those at home, even if it's not normal, who do you complain to? We're talking about, these are not very cheap, flights. They could cost up to 30,000 naira or up to 25, depending on the route. And I'm talking about one way. And if you're looking at an average salary in a month that is 18,000 naira, most of the state can't pay the 30,000 naira minimum wage for the last time that they've requested them to do so. So that means those using these services want to save time. Most people also are now trying to avoid being kidnapped, because you rather spend 30,000 naira than to be kidnapped and the demand for 3 million naira on your head.
Wow.
So again, this is the reason why more people, I've seen few families now that have to put extra cost to make sure that their family members are schooled outside of Lagos do not travel by road anymore.
Wow. And people are not making sure that they are delivering on the services that they are being paid for.
I think it's the time we have to do university value.
That one terrorist can see you.
We need to investigate the person in hotel value. I said, I think they are very good at that.
Well, you got to determine the safety part of it as well, because if the terrorists can take out the Nigerian military aircraft, I'm sure, we'll probably have to route it somewhere so that they probably will be able to see it.
That is the only way you cover it. Let's count. Well, let's count in the UK. Now let's come to one other story that is making the round. That's pertaining to the IGP statement. The IG statement pertaining to the IPOP in the Delta area. What is that all about?
Well, it's not the first time that we've seen issues between the IPOB and the Inspector General of Police. As at Monday, there was still a sit down, in as much as quite a lot is happening within that IPOB as well, with so many again, it's a group or a movement. There will be issues around it as well, but we've got to still remember that the Nigerian government have proscribed IPOB, but again, according to the lawyer of Mazin Amdekano, have said that Ifeanyi Ejiofor has given reason why his client and the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has not been able to send neither an audio nor a video message to his supporter. So I think you can imagine somebody that has been giving messages continuously to some of his millions of supporters around the globe. But now that there's kind of a bit of dispute within the movement, they'll probably love to hear from him directly on the most important part, which is the sit-down at home order, which I believe some have decided, it's not going to go ahead as well. He did explain that he was not permitted to do so because of the law existing in the facility where he's been detained. He's still currently with the DSS facility, but the lawyers are also trying to make sure they can bring him back to a normal correlation center, which is going to be much convenient for them as well. The council said this while reacting to question from the suspected IPOB members on Tuesday. The Kanu supporters addressed concern after Ejiofor gave an update of his meeting with the leader of the movement on Facebook. After giving that update, one Henry requested, "Barrister, when you next see it, please, if you use your phone or do a short video." But I'm sure doing short video in the hands of the DSS will be like somebody trying to go into the cage of a lion and trying to remove the meat out of it.
But it should be in the interest of the DSS as well, because if supporters want to know the person is not, and if the person is right, then at the point the lawyers can do much. But sometimes the message from him will be directly in itself. Will be the interest of the DSS after they like you before the followers begin to think that something untoward is happening. That's why they are not hearing from you.
Okay, now let's go to the judge's granting of some Sunday Go's 8 bail. What has gone on there? What do you have for us?
Well, 53 days in the hands of the DSS. It's quite a long time, for again a country that has not respected the rule of law. Even if you're a terrorist, you should be given, the opportunity. Maybe not in Nigeria, but in outside world, the legal assistance should you need it. But again, in Nigeria, it could be very difficult. Yes, 4 out of the 12. The judge have now, signed the bail release. Why is it so different that 4 out of the 12? I'm going to give a background quickly because time is fast spent already. 4 of them were separated during the court hearing at Abuja when they were in the court. So that means the 4 of them was more of interest to the DSS compared to the remaining 8. But again, the remaining 8 does not mean that they're not going to get a bill signed, but due to some one reason or the other, which is still being finalized, because I was able to speak to the legal department, the legal representative this morning, and they're working on getting the remaining 8 out as well. And when I mean out, that means they have to be getting the bill signed, released by the judge, which will then be taken to the DSS. What about the 4? Have they now been finally out of the DSS detention? As at the time the legal representative went yesterday, we were told it's already late. So we're expecting that now that a bail release has been signed, the DSS do not have the right, according to the law, to hold them back anymore. So we're expecting that 4 to be out today officially, while the remaining 8, we will then wait to see if the bail release signed by the judge will go ahead after perfecting the bail condition.
Okay, Olayomi, quickly, have they been charged?
They have not been charged. No.
Okay, now, do you have an idea of what the law says? Because under normal circumstances, if you've not been charged, the DSS might need the judicial assistance to be able to hold you further in their custody.
Well,
unless,
go ahead.
Yeah, unless they are because certain charges that are not payable, even that an independent judge must see that before you are.
You're quite right, Frank. I mean, the DSS, even after the bail has been granted, still wanted to have the judge or the Supreme High Court to look into that and dispute that bail condition. But that again was thrown out because since they have not been charged and they cannot be held without being charged to the court, and they have already violated their human right for being kept for almost 34 days before they were appearing at the court, until the judge granted their bail. So that bail condition will definitely have to pass through, just like the remaining 4 that have been granted the bail release.
Okay, wow, interesting. Now, do you have any updates about because you read about Sunday Go's case in Cotonou?
Well, the case it hasn't come back to the court. Again, a lot of people might be worried, and why is it taking that long? We've got to remember that this is a country that has their own law, and we must have to respect that law. So we have to wait and see when the court case will be coming back on. But I can say that Chief Sunday Igboho is fine. We've spoken with him on the ground, and he's in high spirit. And again, we hope he will be out as quickly as possible when the case is finally finalized back in Benin Republic.
But friend, let me ask you one question before we go to the social media. Do you think that if Benin grants Sunday Igboho maybe political asylum, has been requested by his team, and then do you think that he should go to Nigeria?
Well, if he goes to Nigeria, you enter a different territory. I mean, that one the Nigerian authorities can arrest you. that's a sovereign state within sovereign laws. Being given political asylum or being given protection in Benin doesn't mean that that protection extends unless you have a national, you have a UN coverage of that. I mean, you take example of our friend Akwanga. You look at Dr. Akwanga, for instance, he breaks through different countries, but he's still being sought by what you call the Cameroon authority. So you go to Cameroon now, I mean, you're not going to. You go to Cameroon embassy, anywhere, it was like what happened to Kushon. So, I mean, if Roma did Nigerian is released, one place you might not want to go and you shouldn't go. Okay, Nigerian embassy, but when you enter the embassy, you enter Nigeria. So, and you know, for them, there are lots of themselves. It's good with people, and they can move you the Nigerian card. And one of the diplomatic cards is Nigerian property. No one can touch it. To the airport where they put you in a private jet. Well, we hope that doesn't happen. They didn't fly there across the border. They put easy. Wow. Listen to Starr Radio UK. We go to what is happening on the social media platform with Mr. Olayomi. What's up on the social media?
Well, the TV reality show seems to be holding a lot of Nigerians to glow onto their TV station. The Big Brother Nigeria is currently ongoing, as just like the Love Island and so many other some of these programs that takes place around the world. So that is trending at number one because sometimes they do kind of different voting and different things. So that is the reason why Big Brother Nigeria is trending as number one. Number two is EFCC is trending. We did talk about it yesterday, and these individuals, just like so many people say, because EFCC now invade popular individual houses, we now act like it began today. EFCC had invaded young folks' houses and hostels day in, day out, extorting them, and if you refuse to pay, next you'll be paraded as internet fraudster. The EFCC have actually come out to defend the reason for that invasion of these young Nigerian home yesterday, saying that they have EFCC came out with this official press statement yesterday to justify that they did knock on the door, but the client or those in the house refused to open the door, and that was the reason why they have to now break into the apartment, because they have reason to believe that those in the house or in that estate were part of the people of interest to the government. Whether people agree with that is something that I'm sure, just like that individual says on that thread on the Twitter, that it's not the first time. According to Narati at First Lady She, the EFCC is worse than SARS. SARS was the reason why almost 100 young Nigerians were killed in October 20. It's going to be a year now in the next couple of months. It is time Nigerians rise up and say enough to madness. It is time to pay the EFCC and hashtag EndSARS visit. Nonsense. That is coming from Narati as well. So we're going to go back and take one from Ilana Omodua. What are they saying on their Twitter handle this morning? Once again, this is Starr Radio UK, as we're just about to bring it to the final point of this morning edition of Nigeria as well. According to Ilana Omodua Diaspora, in a same client, you want to have a good lawyer, doctor, and account. But in the fraud Nigeria, you want to know who the daddy GO and a DSS agent. So what they're implying there is, in Nigeria, you got to do somebody. If otherwise, things might be very hard for you in Nigeria. And that will be for me. Let me now come back to you in the studio. 11:58. Don't go anywhere yet. It's still Starr Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, where Archie and Frank will be taking you through the next part of the program.
Yes, let me say thank you very much for that wonderful update there as well. Okay, so you have a lovely day.
Bye for now.
But let me say good morning.
Well, thank you very much, those of you that have joined. Have a very good afternoon, and bye for now.
Our relations very soon. I don't understand it very well, but you know what you are talking about. So, but if you want to throw more light on it, feel free to do so. We're going to take a quick break, and once we come back, we'll look at some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. But this afternoon, exactly at 1:30. The program is going to be happening once again live from here. And which one is that? It is the BB Means Business Show with BB Clement. And today, what is she going to be looking at? She's going to be having as a special guest Blessing Theophilus Israel. And today, they're going to be reviewing books that entrepreneurs read.